Welcome to today's live. Hey everybody, it's behind me. If you're having a good Sunday, then put in the comments that you've had a good Sunday and let me know exactly what you've been up to. If you're watching this live, it's just gone 10 past 6. So put in the comments live. And if you're watching this on the replay, then put in the comments #replay. If this is your first video content that you're seeing of mine, then put in the comments newbie, just so I know how new you are to my content. So today's live, I'm basically going to be explaining to you what are some of my favorite podcasts that have been helping me to stay motivated, to stay, active, to stay positive during this lockdown. And so the first one I want to talk about is the Tony Robbins podcast. Now, I've been a massive fan of Tony Robbins for at least, I'd say like last 8 or 9 years. I remember listening to Tony Robbins like years ago on TV. One of his live shows. He's so captivating, he's so energetic, he's so passionate, and that energy just comes across to you when you're watching on TV, and it really hits you and it gets you pumped, it gets you motivated. So ever since then I've been a massive fan of Tony Robbins, and those that don't know Tony Robbins, obviously he's like arguably the most successful life coach or public speaking coach in the world. He's worth 600 million net. He's got 50 businesses worldwide, and he does talks all over the world, and he coaches presidents, chief executives, big billionaires like Bill Gates. They've all gone to Tony Robbins to ask for advice on business or on the personal development or mindset. So he's huge. So one of the things I made sure I wanted to do during the lockdown was I wanted to ensure that I was constantly feeding my mind with powerful information that allowed me to stay motivated, that allowed me to stay engaged and active. So Tony Robbins podcast, and the podcast is so good because not only is it based on personal development, but he also brings in a lot of useful information around business. How to thrive in this current climate of where a lot of businesses have had to adapt and go online because of COVID. And so he provides a lot of information around that, and he also has like guest speakers, like experts come on and share their experience on a particular topic, whether it's relationships, whether it's sales or marketing or business or fitness. And then he's also had really successful businesses like I can't remember, the owner of Uber came on there, and different kinds of people who are running successful multi-millionaire or billionaire companies. He's interviewed them on his podcast and then asked them about their journey, about what kind of hurdles they faced, what was the reason they came up with the idea, what success they had, what advice. And so it's packed with so many useful content that you're going to learn so many different stuff. And I've learned so much from listening to Tony Robbins. When I'm working out in the mornings, I will listen to Tony Robbins. Before I go to Tony Robbins, when I'm driving to market to get groceries, I listen to Tony Robbins. So I'm always making sure that I am, filling my mind with information, because, like I said, it's packed with so much information that you can't come away from it feeling pumped, feeling motivated, and feeling inspired. Because to hear from a billionaire like he's had like Warren Buffett on there, to hear like a billionaire from Warren Buffett explaining success is what it takes to be successful in business, what mistakes they had, to hear from that experience and learn, okay, what was what allowed them to become like billionaires today, that inspires me. So it's you're from like a successful billionaire, that motivates you. And so, and also because like Tony Robbins, he's very big on getting the best expert advice, to not just educate his viewers, but also to educate himself and to benefit him. So he'll get like the best personal trainer, the best dietitian, the best people, business minds, and he'll get them on there to to provide you with lots of useful information. So, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's really helped me to stay motivated. And I think, videos before, like, it's so important that you are feeding your mind with, podcasts, because, there's so many good podcasts out there that really learn something new, work on your weaknesses, that you can upskill yourself, and that you'll be feeding your mind with, powerful information that's going to really actually help you stay motivated, raise your confidence, and have a massive impact in your mindset. So I definitely recommend you watch Tony Robbins. And another one of my favorites, which I just add, is the Advanced Selling Podcast. So one of the things I was trying to do during lockdown was to, use this time, especially being stuck at home, to my weaknesses are, and how to turn my weaknesses into like strength. And so for me, one of the things I was want to work on was my sales. Because I'm okay at sales, I know there's so much growth in sales that I can. So I was looking on my podcast on my iPhone to find out, what's a good podcast to listen to, and I came across the Advanced Selling Podcast, and it's like one of the longest running podcasts in sales. I think they've been running for like well over 30, 40 years. And it's two guys who are like huge sales, are doing this podcast to educate people on sales and helping people upskill their sales. And then obviously you can also ask them to come and do like a sales training at your company, because they also offer that service. And so even on that, like it's been like really, really educational for me, because I've learned so much about sales I didn't know before. I've used some of the techniques that they've said in my business and seen massive results. And also, like, it's really educates me, because each day they have a different topic around sales, and sales is huge. And sometimes they have the odd guest speaker who will share their talking about a sales problem, or they'll have someone like the audience can call in and ask them for sales advice, and they'll dissect that question and give an answer back. So like it's really allowed me to hone myself and actually turn that more into a strength now. So I'm feeling, since I've listened to them, and I've been listening to them since the first day of lockdown, and they have a different episode every week, and it's packed. And also you can listen to these episodes over again, because they're all free. The same with Tony Robbins is free. So obviously with repetition, you embed it deep into your subconscious mind. So for me, I alternate between this and Tony Robbins during the day, or when I'm working out, or when I'm working, to just ensure that I'm listening to something that's giving me information. I'm managing the voices around me, and ensure that I'm listening to stuff that's actually going to help me grow. So instead of listening to music nowadays, I listen to podcasts, because there's going to be a far more return on investment by listening to those podcasts than listening to music, unless it is a motivational music. So I would I've found extremely useful these Advanced Selling Podcasts, and I can definitely see why it's rated the number one podcast for sales, and it's really like to help me up my level. And I implore you to whether you want to listen to their podcasts, find a podcast that that are going to inspire you, that are going to motivate you, that are going to resonate with you, because that's what matters. Because you need to be getting advice from people who are going to resonate with you, that that you are then going to really implement the ideas. And for me, Tony Robbins is someone that I really admire. So he resonates style of teaching. Tony Robbins is for everyone, because of some people don't like people that energetic, but for me, I love that energy. And the Advanced Selling Podcast is because with them, they are very straight to the point of getting the message off across around sales. And for some people that might not be the best approach, but for me it works, and it resonates with me, and I can then implement the ideas straight away in my business and into my life and see huge results. So you want to go and find podcasts that you can on a regular basis and change up it. So instead of listening to music, listen to podcasts. Instead of watching TV, listen to a podcast. And that way you're constantly ensuring that you're feeding your mind with useful information, It's going to help you grow. It's going to help you develop, and it's going to help you have results and have successes. So, just want to share those. This is a short live. Favorite podcast and the Advanced Selling podcast. I really love them, and they really helped me a lot. And I think without this podcast, we could easily fall into old habits of just watching Netflix or wasting my time on stuff that's not really helping me grow or helping me develop my business. So this is useful, then put in the comments top stuff. If you stay to the end and you're an A player, then put in the comments A player. Also, want you to tell me one thing from tonight's live and implement straight away in your life. Put that in the comments so that we all know, and then also share your progress of what success you've had, what challenges you faced, and what you learned. So that not only help you reinforce your learnings, but also help teach others. And if you found this useful, which I'm pretty sure you have done, then share this with your friends, your families, and you're going to allow them to have, really good content of value added to their life, and it's going to allow them to grow and develop. And then it's also going to hit your karma quota and allow you to raise your self-esteem. So it has a direct loop in terms of benefit your family, and it'll benefit you. So, I'm doing a live tomorrow at 6 o'clock, so check that out. Otherwise, thanks everybody for tonight's live. Stay safe, stay motivated, stay engaged. Otherwise, bye-bye.